Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you want to study in Saudi Arabia but do not know where to start, this video is for you. I'll walk you step by step through the entire application process, the required documents, and how to actually increase your chances of getting accepted. Make sure you watch this video until the end because I will also share practical tips that most applicants miss, and those small details can make a real difference in your acceptance. So step number one, we go to the Study in Saudi portal. Every year they keep introducing new ways to apply. So this year we're going to be working with this website. We can go with either of two languages, English or Arabic. We will go with the English language. Click on the sign in button. Let's say you apply for the first time. And by the way, you cannot use so far you cannot use the login details from the previous years, so you have to create a new account. Here we go. They are asking us to provide our first name. I'm going to go with my name, Maji. Actually, I will go with Abu Yahya. The email address, right? Okay, is that the one? Yes, that's the one. The date of birth. I will come up with a date of birth that's not my date of birth, but let me just say that I was born in 2006. I'm going to say that I'm from Kazakhstan because I am from Kazakhstan, male. Here we need to come up with a password. So basically everything is standard at this point, right? And here we go. It should be created within seconds. I will save the password. Now we go to our email and confirm our registration. Activate your account. So within half a second you get this email, you go to this email, and then you just complete your registration. It says تم تفعيل الحساب. So the registration has been completed. Now we can just log in. Everything's ready, and this is what I'm doing. ملفك الشخصي غير مكتمل. Okay, let's switch to the English language first. So it's saying that your profile is not complete to apply to academic programs. Meaning that if you try to apply, you'll go to the universities. Let's choose the Islamic University of Medina. You won't be able to explore programs, to add anything at the moment, because first you need to complete your profile. You see, even if I click here, I click it on add preferences, and it says profile must be 100% complete before you can choose any preferences. So the first thing you do, you go to your profile. It's right here. So if we go to my profile, some of the sections are filled up already, but I'm going to do the rest. ID type, I'm going to use my passport. This is a new thing that they introduced, residence, so you can use your residence card. I'm actually surprised, but you should use your passport because when they issue your visa, they will need your passport. So I'm going to come up with a number. That's just a made-up number. A current place of residence, I'll choose Kazakhstan. Place of birth, Kazakhstan. I live in Saudi Arabia. My family moved to Canada, but I'm going to go with Kazakhstan. Marital status, married. Disability status, none. Okay, personal photo, 4x6. So the first thing you have to submit is your personal photo. This is what it looks like. Let me show you the requirements for that photo, because many people, they don't understand the concept of this personal photo. They actually submit their photo with somebody else, with some imam or some Islamic figure that's famous. Or sometimes they just pose in front of the masjid. No, it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be a photo like this, with a white background, like a passport photo. This photo is important for official matters, like your visa and invitation letters. So it has to be official. What are the requirements? First of all, it should be high quality, just like the example that I showed over here. By the way, it's me in 2017 when I applied to the Islamic University of Medina, and then I got accepted in 2020. Actually, in 2019, then I had to defer my studies, and in 2020 I came for studies. So the first one is supposed to be high quality, white background. That's the best option. Facial expression, just keep your face neutral. No smiles, no frowning, just a straightforward look. And photo ratio. As you can see, they require you to submit 4:6. This is the perfect ratio. This is what you should stick with. But if you don't have the opportunity to get this exact ratio, then you can go with 3:4 or even 2:2. This is not a problem. But if you go to a photo center, then and let them know that you need a picture for official documents like a visa or passport, and you need it to be of the ratio 4:6, they will help you and you will get the perfect result, inshallah. So this is what I recommend. You just go to a photo center and make a picture like this. Then you submit that picture in this section. Okay, let me go over here. I'll just use whatever photo I have. Obviously, you have to use your personal photo. Then they're asking us to provide our passport. They use AI. First, I tried to use this passport. It didn't work. Then when I uploaded this shortened version, then it worked. Let me see. Maybe it's going to work now with the first version, because I heard that they fixed this problem. Let me see. Oh, that's it. Okay. Oh, okay, they just turned off the AI, okay. Because in the first day, this is the third or the fourth day by now, when people apply. In the first day, they used AI. You just uploaded your passport and then it would take out all the information from the passport. But now, as we can see, it's not the case anymore. Okay, whatever. Let's just save and continue. And by the way, this is why I always recommend to avoid submitting your application the first day, because there's problems with the portal usually in the first day, but on the third or fourth day, they sort out those problems. Just like the problem with AI that I mentioned now. Okay, step number 2, city. Actually, let me just go with my city, where I was born and raised. District, you put the district, the name of the street. Postal code that only allows you to put 5 symbols for some reason. If you do 6, it's not gonna allow you to do that. So if your postal code includes more than 5 numbers, you just include the first 5 and leave out the 6th symbol. Unfortunately, that's the only thing you can do. You cannot put more than 5 symbols. If you click save and continue, it's not going to be possible. Actually, let me try it. Maybe they fixed it. Allahu A'lam. We're going to go with the number. United Kingdom. No, there's no United Kingdom. Okay, that's strange. Let me go with the +44. Al-Mamlakat al-Muttahida. Okay. I'm not sure if all countries are present, but you can look for it and perhaps find it. I'm going to go with Kazakhstan, +7. Just made it up. Here you can include your social media accounts, and I would actually advise you to do that, just to make it complete. It's very nice. If you don't have it, then just, you can skip it. You don't have to put anything. And then you click save and continue. Oh, okay. Have you seen it? Now you can include 6 symbols in the postal code. Alhamdulillah, they fixed that problem. That's nice of them. Okay, here we go. Here we can include our employment information, employment and study. Are you employed? If you click no, then it is no. If yes, oh, okay. Before, they would also give you another section where you can choose, where you can specify where you work, but okay, whatever. if you work, you just click on the no. If you work, you click on the yes. I don't think it's going to affect your application in any way. Here you say the reason why you want to study in Saudi Arabia. As I always say, in the reason for studying in Saudi Arabia field, it can be filled up in either of the language, English or Arabic. Perhaps Arabic would be better because some of the people who review the applications, they don't speak English. So I would say if I were applying, I would use the Arabic language. And it is important to indicate not what benefits you will receive. For example, I will be able to learn Arabic and understand the Quran. Or if I'm in Saudi Arabia, I will be able to seek knowledge. Many people do that, but I don't think it's good. But rather, it is important to indicate what benefits you will be able to bring to the Muslim community if accepted. For example, I have a strong proclivity to be a teacher, so if I got an education in Saudi Arabia, I would continue to work as a da'i, as a teacher in the Islamic school of my city, or in the masjid where I could teach. So that's the goal of these programs. These programs are initiated in the first place to benefit the Islamic community and not just individuals. So here you would say, I want to study so I could benefit others. So you have to focus on the community rather than yourself. And obviously you can make it longer. I don't know what is the limit, but make it longer. I would, if I were applying, I would use the bullet points. I could benefit others by, like, first, teaching in the masjid kada. I mean, in the masjid such and such. I would do this. I would do this. And, and just go through the list what you could do to actually bring the benefits to the Muslim community. And again, I would do it in Arabic, but it's up to you. Have you obtained a previous residency number? Have you had the Iqamah before? If you never had a residency in Saudi Arabia, you choose no. Reference data, it is not necessary, but basically, as I found out, it's the data that you will use that they can contact. So it's a data of a person that they can contact to make sure that you are actually legit, that you, let's say it's a high school principal, they can get in contact with him and make sure that you are actually graduated. They're not going to do that. They never, ever do that, but you can include it just to make it complete. And then they ask you for the annual income in riyals or dollars. I don't know why they're asking your income. Perhaps it's not your personal income, perhaps it's the income of your family. So if you apply for the paid study where you want to pay for the tuition, you indicate the income of your family so they can see that you can actually, your family can actually cover the tuition. So let's say you apply for some studies and your family makes more than 100,000 riyals a year. So that's what you leave. Because it's really unlikely that you make a lot of money after graduating from high school. Okay, now we go to the fourth point, and this is where you attach your documents. Again, the first day of the application, it was very short, but the third day, they added other things. So let's go one by one. Add qualification. Let's say you graduated from high school, you're applying for the bachelor's. That's the case with most of the applicants. Country of study, school name, GPA. Well, in most cases it's 100. If you graduated from a university, it's going to be 5 or 4. In the UK, it's going to be 9. Right? If you graduated from A levels or GCSE, and then you just put the score, just your average score. Let's say you got 9, 9, and 8. Then it's going to be 9.33. Right? So that's your average score. You summarize all the grades and then just get the average. Get the average figure. And here they're asking you to provide your high school diploma and the transcript. It doesn't say that, but that's been the case throughout all years. It's not enough just to submit your high school diploma and that's it. because it doesn't confirm your score. Maybe you showed that your score is 7.33, but in reality maybe it's less, so you need to also submit your transcript. Let's go with 100. Let's say your score is 8, or maybe it's a GPA, let's say it's 4.5. For you to confirm it, you have to submit your high school diploma and the transcript. And you can do it in PDF. Moreover, PDF is the best option to go with, because in the previous years there was this dispute, or you only have to use JPEG and not PDF. This is not true. I even went to the admissions office and they said PDF is even better because it makes it easier for them to review the documents. So over here you can attach the PDF file with your high school diploma and the transcript and their translation. People ask, why do we have to get the translation? Well, because it doesn't require it, right, in the translation. If I were applying, I would definitely provide the translation, because first of all, in all previous years, translating documents into Arabic has always been required, and perhaps they will add it in this portal. They just launched it. And secondly, I personally know staff members in the admissions office who do not speak English. They don't speak English, therefore they won't be able to review the documents properly. And thirdly, even if some admissions officers do understand English, including an Arabic translation clearly shows that you are genuinely serious about studying, which can increase your chances. So due to these reasons, I would definitely include the translation. So what you do, you get the high school diploma, you get the transcript, you get the translation of that, and you include it all in one PDF file. If it's too heavy, well, first of all, you can merge them into one PDF file. This is the website. If it's too heavy, you can compress it on the same website, or you can go to another website. That's my favorite website to compress PDF files. You compress it and then you just go for it. You add the PDF file. I'm going to add the JPEG file, but you will go with the PDF and add qualification. That's what you do. Okay, perfect. So this is what we've added. Here they added some new sections, which is a little bit surprising. Again, you get this high school diploma with your transcript and the translation, and include it in this section. And your grade score, let's say it was 85. If you have a bachelor degree, you can add your bachelor degree, master's degree, PhD. Fellowship degree, it's related to research. I don't think it's going to be the case in your situation. So this is what you add. If you don't have it, obviously you just leave it blank. That's fine. You can submit your SAT exam. This is something that's only used in the United States. STEP certificate. I think it's related to the medical field in the United States. So if you have it, you also submit it in this section. TOEFL and IELTS. These are the English language certificates to prove that you actually have mastered this language to a certain level. I actually took IELTS back in the days. Basically, if you apply for the studies where you're going to be studying in English, providing one of these two certificates would definitely increase your chances of being accepted. But if you apply for Islamic studies and you're going to be studying in Arabic, then you don't need to submit these certificates. And again, it's not mandatory, it's optional. You don't have to submit them, but if you have them, providing optional documents could also increase your chances. And the last one is Arabic language test, Hamza. It's like IELTS, but the Arabic version of IELTS, right? You prove your proficiency in the Arabic language. It was developed by the Salman Academy in Saudi Arabia. Just like the IELTS, you take 4 parts of this exam: listening, reading, speaking, and by the end of it you get this certificate. and by the end you get this certificate. So if you have this certificate or you manage to apply for it, you're free to do so. I'm not sure what is the procedure. This is the first time I've heard of this exam, but if you've managed to get it, that would also definitely increase your chances, inshallah. Okay, then here are other attachments. The first one is the mandatory one. You have to prove that you don't have any what do you call it? Any conviction in the past. You don't have a criminal record. This is mandatory, as you can see. You have to apply it, you have to provide it. If you don't do that, you won't be able to submit your application. In the UK, it's a DBS check or ACRO certificate. In the United States, many people apply for the FBI check. This is something that's used a lot in the United States. In Australia and Canada, so basically there's ways to get this police certificate. If you have a medical report, that's also good to attach it. And by the way, I even make it easier for you. I'll include everything in one picture. Many people ask about what the medical letter should be. So basically, it's a very simple statement that you are free of any contagious diseases. It should include the stamp, signature, doctor's details. That's it. As simple as that. Some people, they come with the 3-4 page medical report. Somebody just texted me, I have a 25-page medical report. Obviously you can do that, and we provide translation services. But I don't want you to waste your money. If you just get something simple, then that's going to be enough. Again, I talked to the admissions officers, they don't have any medical education. As long as it has a simple statement that you are healthy, you are free to study, that's going to be enough. Recommendation letter, what is that? It's a tazkiyah. If you apply for the Islamic studies, it's a tazkiyah from an Islamic figure, maybe imam, maybe a ustad, maybe some professor from Islamic universities. Again, you include into a PDF file. If you have more, that's better. Let's say you have 3 people that recommend you for studies. You include all of them in one PDF file and just include it in this section. Again, this is something that you can require from a local imam of a local masjid. Maybe some student of knowledge that knows you. It is good to provide this letter as well. CV. Okay, CV is the resume where you include the information about you. If you apply for the Islamic studies, obviously your CV should be related to the Islamic field. How much you memorize from the Quran, what have you studied, what books you've studied, who you studied with. Perhaps I would include also a personal statement on top of it, in the top part, that will give them the idea of who you are. And again, please pay attention that all of it, it's best to provide the Arabic translation. You provided the CV, for example, let's say, and the admission officer doesn't know English to the level that he can fluently read your CV. So there's no point to apply it, because he won't understand, or he won't even bother to look into that. But if you provide it in Arabic as well, that's going to be much better. Your attachments are going to look better and will have more impact, inshallah. So let's say you have a CV, you're applying for the Islamic studies in most cases. If you don't apply for Islamic studies, if you apply for the medical field, for example. Don't have scholarships in the medical field, but if you want to pay for it, you can do that. So it should be related to the field where you're applying. Again, if you apply for the scientific field, it should be related to that field. If you're applying for the Islamic studies, it should be related to Islamic studies. Test results. In the first day when they launched this portal, there were no sections such as SAT certificate, STEP certificate, TOEFL, IELTS, Arabic language certificate. They only had these test results. This is where you could include those certificates, IELTS, TOEFL, whatever. But now, since they included these these sections, you can include your certificates in those sections and just leave it blank. That's fine. Or if you have some test that you took and has some result, maybe in the Arabic language that's not related to Hamza test, something else, you can also include it here. It's not gonna do any harm to your application. And here we have other attachments. The question, what are other attachments you could go with? Well, I highly recommend also getting an Arabic language certificate, even if it's outside of Hamza test. Even if it's just one book that you've covered, like Medina book level 1, you get a certificate for that. Alhamdulillah, attach it here. It will make your application complete. It will help you stand out from the crowd of applicants. Also, I highly recommend Quran certificate for Islamic studies. Even if it's just one juz am, get a certificate for that, attach it in this section. It's also going to impact your application. Many applicants neglect this, but inshallah it will help you stand out from the crowd. And you can request it from your teacher, maybe a masjid where you studied. That's going to be a good way to go with. So let's say I will just go with something. Again, I'm just uploading some random things. Save and continue. Congratulations, you can now use the platform services and apply for available academic programs. You see it's 100% complete. Now we go to institutions. Here we have a list of the universities, government universities, private universities. And each university has programs. It says 159 programs, but it's for both Saudis and foreigners. Since you're a foreigner, you're going to have less options available. So let's say your first choice is Islamic University Medina, you go for it. Explore programs, and here's the short description of the university. I'm pretty much sure they will add more description in the future. They just launched a few days back, so it's lacking information, but it's going to be more inshallah. Now we have the choices, and you need to click on it and add it to your list. Let's just go for the first option. It's the bachelor's, you see it's bachelor studies, not master studies, not PhD, bachelor. It's Aqidah. It's the bachelor degree in Aqidah. It's only available for males, for foreigners. It's in Medina. It's a full scholarship. The sponsoring entity covers all scholarship costs. The student bears no financial burden. This is what it is. We click on the view details before we add it. Here we have more details about it, and then I add it to preference. Preference added successfully. Let me just show you where that shows up, my preferences. That's it. You see Islamic University of Medina, Bachelors of Aqidah. For males in Medina and Munawwara, Islamic University of Medina, 4 years, fully covered scholarship. And you can add up to 25 preferences. That's a new thing this year. Last year you could only apply to 3 universities. This year you can make a list of 25 preferences. You can take them from 9, 10 universities. And that's how it works this year. This is a completely new thing. I'm pretty much sure they will change it next year, because they change it every year. First year you could apply to 5 universities, then you could apply to 3 universities. Now you can apply to as many universities as you want, as long as the number of preferences doesn't exceed 25. So let's go for the Islamic University again, right? I don't want to limit myself to Aqidah. I'll also find the Hadith, the faculty of Hadith, add to preference. And I can do it to as many faculties in the Islamic University as I want. There's I'lam. To be honest, I've never heard of it. First time coming across that they have Al-I'lam. It means social media. And by the way, this social media faculty, it says that it's also available for women, which is very surprising. I've heard of the campus where women study in Islamic University. I've heard of it. They study there the English language, some occasional Arabic language programs, but I didn't know that they're going to have bachelor studies in that building. I don't know. I will go to the university inshallah, on Sunday. Today is Friday, and I'll inquire about this program. But this is very surprising. Okay, Quran is only for males. Sharia is only for males. Chemistry. I've heard of this faculty. I even made a video about this scientific faculties. So you can go for the scientific faculties. The studies over there are in English, not in Arabic. Therefore, it's good if you provide the IELTS certificate. And if you don't speak Arabic, you still apply for the Aqidah, the bachelor's program. But when you arrive at the Islamic University of Medina and you tell them that I don't speak the Arabic language, that's when they enroll you in the Institute of the Arabic Language for 2 years, and then you join the faculty. So as you can see, there's no Institute of the Arabic Language that you can choose. Therefore, you choose the bachelor studies. And that's what you do with the rest of the universities. You explore, right? You just go to different universities. Let's go to King Khalid University. I'll just show you something very quick. In Khalid University, you have paid studies, meaning that you have to cover the tuition. If you have 210,000 riyals, you can pay that and study anesthesia, or I'm not sure how you pronounce it, technology. There's partial scholarships. Instead of paying 37,000 riyals, you can pay 68,000 riyals. So it's a partial scholarship. And there's also full scholarships. Like if you want to study astronomy and space science, you can apply for it, and it's full scholarship in the University of Abha, King Khalid. They have such a beautiful nature over there, and it's cool, and it's very nice over there. Allahumma barik. So yeah, this is what it's like in other universities. Let me just, and also pay attention that it should be bachelor studies if you are graduated from the high school university or high school diploma, high school level. And you can go for other options, right? Let me show you. University of Jeddah. They have a lot of programs, right? This is the description of the university. A lot of programs, as you can see. If you're looking for something Islamic, I just press Ctrl F and type Islam. الشريعة والدراسات الإسلامية. They have paid studies, meaning that you will have to pay for your studies and you can join this university. So you're going to be studying Sharia and Islamic studies, and you're going to pay the tuition, and you can study in Jeddah. And it's available for both men and women. So if you have money, you can, just go for it and pay for your studies. And this is what you do with the rest of the universities. What's really important to point out is that programs are being added and updated continuously. In the first day, they didn't have all these programs. In the first day, they had limited number of programs. Then they added more and more. Let me go for Al-Qura University. In the first day, there was nothing. And now they have 2 programs. It's not related to Islam, but you can apply for it and you can study in Mecca. This is what you do. You add the preferences. You make a list. You can make a list of 25 preferences. You can make a list of only 4 or 5. And once you are finished with it, you just please on the start reorder, and you put it in the right order, meaning that the first preference should be something that you prefer the most. Let's say you want to study in Aqidah more than in Hadith, or the opposite, you want to study Hadith more than Aqidah. You just take it from here, put it in the first place, now organize everything according to your preferences, and then you click on the save order. And it says your preferences will be sent to the educational institutions. You can modify your preference at any time until the deadline, May 21st, 9 p.m. Medina time, obviously. And when you click on submit button, that's it. You finished your application. But again, you can still add preferences, you can change the order, you can still work on it, and then save order and submit it again. That's totally fine. They're not gonna review the applications until May 21st. And by the way, May 21st is the last day to apply. All universities, look, the University of Jeddah, they say from 19th of April to 21st of May. The same with the Islamic University. All universities accept the applications until the May of 21st. One important thing that I forgot to mention, most of you are probably applying for the Islamic University of Medina. Is that correct? I think I'm right. Most of you. When you apply for the Islamic University of Medina through this portal, as you see, this portal doesn't include the information how much you memorized from Quran, or who you got this tazkiyah from, or many other things. So the Islamic University of Medina came up with a solution because they accept so many international students. After you submit this application and after May 21st, they will send you, inshallah, this email. This is what it looks like. This is what they did last year, and this is what they're going to be doing this year, inshallah. They will send you this email and they will tell you that this email doesn't mean that you accepted for the studies at Islamic University. It's just simply to let you know that now you need to submit another application through the Minhati portal. Minhati portal is the Islamic University Medina portal that includes more information. And you will need to go to this Minhati portal and you will need to submit more documents. Again, the photo, the high school certificate, the transcript, with the translation, passport, medical report, birth certificate. As you can see, it's from the mandatory documents, the birth certificate, your tazkiyah. This is tazkiyah academic recommendations from the place of study. And okay, here I even prepared the list of the documents that you will need: passport, high school certificate with the transcript, certificate of good conduct from school, birth certificate, letter recommendation from an Islamic figure, medical report, and photo. These are mandatory documents. You won't be able to submit your application unless you have all these documents. And here we have optional documents: police certificate, certificate of Quran memorization, certificate of memorization of Mutun, Arabic language certificate. You can all include it in this Minhati portal. This is what's going to happen, inshallah, if you apply for the Islamic University. Therefore, you should get this ready beforehand. And once you receive the email, you will have, I think it's going to be a few weeks to submit this application. And after that, you're not going to be able to submit this application anymore. And if you don't provide this application, they won't review your application, because I need you to also submit your Minhati portal application. This is something important I forgot to mention, but this is important. And that's it. That's it. And in the end, on May 21st, they will give you your application number. For now, it is not available because it's continuing. You can choose your preferences. You can add something. You can leave something out. This is why they're not giving you any application numbers. But when the time comes, May 21st, when they will close the portal, they will give you, inshallah, the application number, and you will be able to see the result, inshallah. And again, the result is going to be published within the next month, inshallah. So in the previous years, you would have to wait for years. I waited for 3 years, 2.5 years, for my application to be finally accepted. From the previous year, they made the changes when you can apply, and within a few months, you get your final result. I came to the Institute of the Arabic Language. That's where all the new students begin. It was a very fun experience. It's like, like a popular guy in school. I just went in. Any place I go, somebody stops me, and alhamdulillah, they thank me for all the efforts and all the information I laid out for the people. And every single one, I just asked this question: when did you apply, and how fast you got accepted? Those who applied last year, all of them, with no exception, they were accepted within the next few months, and they came for studies. They came either for studies in August, or some of them they were put on the online studies list. They studied online the first semester, and then they came in January. That's how it works. So the final result will come within the next few months after you apply, inshallah. I actually posted it on my Telegram channel. This is my Telegram channel, Studying Saudi Arabia. I posted those dates, so if you go to my Studying Saudi Arabia channel, you will see the dates when they're actually going to announce the results. Hopefully this video was beneficial for you. If you have questions, so leave them in the comments section. I will do my best to look at them every few weeks, or every few days, every few days, and try to address them, inshallah. My tickets is basically if you have some issues with the portal or something, you can say it's a technical issue, it's an academic inquiry, you can send inquiries. That's the last thing I wanted to mention. وجزاكم الله خير والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.